Hey, how you doing? Sorry about that. I had to restream. My thing kind of glitched for a second. Now we're good. We're back on track, 100%. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see here. Okay, so rook takes C6. Okie dokie. Okay, we need to take a look at the first couple moves, which would more likely be there. Some moves are queen to d8, queen d8, check, or I think that's about it. I'm not exactly sure. I should erase the or. Sorry about that. I think that's. I don't really see. Maybe. We might be able to pick up a piece. Let me see here. I think we could pick up a piece if I'm not mistaken. So queen. Oops. Queen d8. Check. Knight f8 forced. Knight e7 check. King h7 forced again. h7, and then queen takes f8. Well, first you have to bring your queen to the oh yeah, but you first have to remove the knight after that. It's kind of a forced queen queen d8 check, king knight, king to f8. I mean, not king f8, knight f8. Then we check on e7. The king goes to h7. We take the knight, and now, like what you're saying exactly, we're threatening checkmate. So I'd probably say that our opponent would we'd have to be careful that we could win a yeah, we could actually win a rook, like what you're saying. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this check here. There's so many different options. There we go. Oh, no. What did we? Oh, okay. I think we that's mate. So we did the second best move. So here, you can actually play there after you take, and then you come here. That's mate. But let's say that we check here, 92, The queen would actually take at this point, and then that's what would happen. So, but we can actually do checkmate. So, okay, not a problem. It's okay. We'll get it back. Not to worry. We'll get this back. We just got to be efficient thinkers, and we'll get there. Let's see if we have any in-between moves. Okay, the queen is attacking us 3 times. We're defended twice. I'm looking at potentially knight. F7, knight F7. If rook takes D7, we have queen takes D7, and then queen to E1 is forced at that point, or A1, either one. More likely E1 because she's got to stay in contact with the rook. There really is. There's 2 moves actually. There's knight C4 and knight F4. I mean F7. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between C7 . What's the difference between and then sorry about that. We'll get to the ideas. I really thought that one that we went to was the correct. We were so close. It was a queen sack. We have to kind of be on the lookout because white has a back rank sit right now. So we have to take in consideration the back rank problem that our opponent has. So that's and we really have 2 spots: F knight F7 and knight C4. Knight E4. What's the continuation of knight E4? Alright, but these 2 moves, knight F7 or knight C4, they're both putting pressure. These moves are both putting pressure on the queen. And the other one, I don't know what really the other one. because if we try to take, see the queen 94 rotates, queen takes, the queen would actually at this point you got almost it's actually the queen would play this move here. After we took, the queen would play you have to, diagonals were a problem for me. My coach helped me get over it. Was queen to b8, and it's even better to go after a rook. But I think you're right. I think she can't take, because if she does, then you're right on that. You would have a back rank sitch. I see what you're saying. This would actually lead your. That's right. If he, well, no, the king would have to move at that point. The king would move up. Yeah, the king would move up. Then the rook would be able to slide back. So that is a saving move. Queen takes b8 is a saving move. I forgot to put the take symbol in there. Let me see here. Hey, Morphe's Revenge. Yeah, we're looking at potentially knight f7 or knight c4 or knight e4. But I'm thinking that it has to be either knight f7 or knight c4. I'm thinking it's let's see, if we play knight f7, rook takes, let's try this, knight f7, rook takes d7, knight takes e5, rook takes d8 check, rook takes d8, and then rook can't get back in time. After that, the rook, if rook takes e5, we play rook d1 mate. Why is then there's rook c4, knight rook takes d7, knight takes e5, rook takes d7, not d7, sorry, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, and the same problem originates. Oh, interesting. So 98. Interesting. So let's take a look at that. I didn't even consider that. Okay. Because that does block the check, doesn't it? It's 98. If rook takes. But I think there's just one hiccup. Let me see. right after we take. He could play rook takes. Well, maybe there's not. Let me see. Rook takes e7 or e8. Hold on, let me see. Check. Rook takes e8, and then the queen would have to go back queen to a1. I would have to, that's the way that she can hold. Oh yeah, you're right, that is the reason. Oh no, that's why that's why it works. That's why. Oh, nice find there. That makes sense. That's why knight f7, rook takes h6, knight takes h6. If rook takes d7. Takes, knight takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes, king, and there's no real way to stop a back rank mate after they take the rook. So we'd actually be, I'm thinking it's this here. Yeah, there's no way to stop. So I'll show you what we're talking about. Hold on, let me get a drink. Good spot there, Erie. I was wondering why the difference of F, which one, why this one was different. It's oops, sorry, this one was different. Yeah. So if he plays here, and then let's say we play here, right? We take, and the queen takes. We come up, and there's really no way. Where can the queen go to stop the back rank mates? Really, we're up a whole piece. Basically, they would have to play something like this, and we're just so far ahead positionally that we have a 2 versus 3. Our knight is doing really good on this side, holding everything. So and they basically decided to go into a potential losing combination, which this is forced, and there's no real way to stop this here. You'd have to knight c4, and now we're up a whole knight, so 3 pawns. We just have to analyze why each move's good. Great work, great job. We're doing good. Okay, dokie. Let's see. Let's look for candidate moves. Boy, our bishop's trapped, so. There's queen e3, check. Oops, sorry, oops, queen e3, check. That's an idea. Okay. Queen takes b3. If queen takes b3, f takes g6. We don't have time to take we don't have time to take on d5 because well, I guess we do have time to take on d5. No, we no, we don't, because he can actually, well, do we? Let's see. Queen takes b3. F takes g6. Queen takes d5. He can't take the pawn because of g takes h7. We can actually go king h8, so he can't do that. Let's see. Queen takes h7. Check. King f8. Queen h8. King e7. Bishop h4. Check. Oh, interesting. But that's still, oh, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because the bishop then can drop back to if checks, yeah. But are we equal at that point though? I think we're at equal material at that point though. He might actually just play this. Bishop takes, queen takes b3, and then rook takes d6. He might just play that. But I guess we could take the pawn at that point, but huh. Yeah, we really can't do queen to queen e3 check, loses to bishop d2, and then we're in a problem. I think we can actually take. I think we can take in that. I think we win. Let me see there. I think we win uh, a piece, two pieces. See, queen takes b3. F takes g6. Queen takes d5. If the pawn takes, then we're so he'd probably. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the move here. King d7 is forced. Let's see, king d7. Let me see, king d7. G takes f7. Rook check, and then king goes to c2 and queen d1 mate. Yeah. Yeah, this is the continuation of the line. He would actually have to take. Yeah, it's here. Here, here. And the only way, if the king came up here, you have mate in one. Yep. Let's do it to it. We'll get her back. We'll get it back. One step at a time. One step at a time. Why didn't he take the bishop? Oh, we would have actually still ended up, I think, losing. He would have still ended up losing. I think the bishop would have taken the g6 pawn at that point. The bishop would have taken the g6 pawn, and then they would have lost all their attack. Their whole basis was upon the f takes g6 with the pawn. That was the whole entire attack. Their whole entire attack was based around that. My first look is knight knight f5 is my first decision. We're attacking the rook. So if knight f5, if bishop takes g6, check. Bishop takes g6, check. A knight takes h4. That's kind of my idea. But I think he can actually at that knight f5. Sorry, knight takes f5. Knight takes f5, and we're in deep trouble at that point. I didn't see that. It's a good thing we took our time and was due diligent on that. Wow, he's got everything wedged in there. It's like we're like in a compactor. Not good. Interesting, to say the least. Trying to see if we can't find anything that could be playable here. Potentially maybe queen d8 to go after then queen takes f6, but I'm not exactly sure if that's because then that would cause some damage in the position. I don't want to react to his threat. I'm trying to see what do we have that we can potentially use. Well, that would not be a bad idea. Let's see, queen f2, rook takes h6, queen takes f6, bishop takes g6. I think we lose the queen though in that line, because after king g8, he can play bishop h7 and check and win the queen on in that line. It'd be a discovery. Oh, wait a second. I don't think so. I think we can move up at that point. Wait a second. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Sorry. That's funny. It's funny, funny, funny. We could actually, yikes. King takes g7. That's funny. That is funny. He'll just take, and then he has a discovered check. That I think f2 is correct in this line. Let me see. See f2, rook takes h6. Rook takes h6. Queen takes f6. Bishop takes g6. King takes g7, and now we're attacking the queen, and we're attacking the rook, and we're gonna win one of these items. We're also attacking so the rook has to do what it has to do. I'm thinking that queen f2 is 100% right. Yeah, I believe you're right on that one. Oh, so no, let's see here. Nope, not that. What did we oh, the knight is a target. Oh, I totally overlooked that. I did not see that. Wow, I have to be, as Jeremy Silman would say, have target eyes, so that yeah. Yeah, that is a because this does look interesting. It's still winning if he plays here. Queen takes bishop. Oh, knight takes there. Rook takes. So. Okay, so that's the winning move. So the only move that wins is that. That was a, wow. Replay that again? Okay. And then we'll, yeah. Here. And there. So that if he plays here, we have that there. That would happen, and then we'd be at material. So here, there. Alright, let's get back in this. You have to kind of have target eyes. That's what I have learned from Jeremy Silman was there's targets. We just have to, what we need to do is if we see hanging pieces, like pieces that are potentially out in the middle of nowhere without, yeah. Oh, this looks familiar. Let's see. See, we have a familiar position here. What's hanging right now? The queen, right? So rook c1, and if the queen, let's say the queen moves to a4, right? Queen a4. We have rook takes c7. Check. So that's and there's no way to guard c1. They're gonna lose something. Yeah, so it has to be rook c1. There you go. So you look at pieces that are not being protected, and the queen wasn't being protected, so you can make a plan based on that. I kind of forgot about that. I have to always keep that in mind when you see pieces that are on pre, like this piece over here. The bishop a6 is in theory on in pre, which means you can win it if you can attack it, and there's nothing that can take it. So maybe we can make a idea based on the bishop on a6. So let's see if there's any plans based on that. Do we have any pieces that could potentially win this? Excuse me. There's bishop takes knight on d5, so let's see. Bishop takes d5 check. C takes d5. We can potentially use a pin too. You know, knight rook e2 is a pin as well. I think you're right on with that move. You see how you can take advantage of things like that, because yeah, knight takes c6, attacks the queen, and and also the knight at the same time, and potentially can win a piece. Queen d7. But then you can actually see knight there. She takes there. Interesting. Knight takes c. Queen d7. So knight takes c6. Queen c7. Bishop takes d5. Bishop takes d5, check. Queen takes d5. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5, and then bishop f7. c4. Oh, I have an idea. I got an idea. Knight takes c6, queen d7, and then queen to f4, which threatens mate. That threatens mate with queen queen f8, check, rook takes f8, rook takes f8, mate. Because the bishop protects the rook after all that. We have enough defenders. I'm thinking that knight takes is 100% on par with everything. Because you'll probably play knight takes c6. Knight takes c6. If knight takes c6, bishop takes d7, check, and the queen would have to actually interpose. The queen would have to interpose at that point. Why okay, so not first but after. Yeah, I think that's right. We take here, we take then when queen takes, we actually play here. And I'm thinking yeah, bishop takes is the next move. And Ah, I got it. Rook f8 check. Rook takes f8, and then knight e7. That forks the queen. Oh, whoa, that's actually better. Yeah, I think your line's better. Knight e7. Yeah, your line's much better. Your knight e, and he's forced to take with the rook, and then you mate. Yeah, your line's better. There we go. That's much better of a line. That's a great job. Yeah, that was a tough one, but we got it. We solved it. Okay, so we have all of our pieces. It's kind of interesting. You can almost tell when an attack's about to rise in your position when, you know, the king is so vulnerable like this. Let's see here. We first have to take a look at bishop c4 check. There's two checks, or I doubt it's queen takes, but you never know. Queen c4. You always have to put into perspective those ideas. Let me see here. See, bishop c4. He has to play. He either has knight takes c4. Knight takes c4. That's a move he can do. Bishop. Oops. Bishop c. Oops. Bishop's not takes. Bishop c4. Or king d7. I doubt he'll go king d7. Those are the two moves that black has. So let's take a look at bishop c4 and then knight takes c4. Bishop takes c4. I mean bishop c4 check. Knight takes c4. Queen takes. Oops. Queen takes c4 check. The king has to go to d7 in that line, and then we have bishop. We have bishop takes c5 check. So bishop c4 check. Knight takes c4. Queen takes c4. King only move is d7. Bishop takes c5. Bishop takes c5. King has, he could go to d. We might want to actually trade off queens in that line. Are we? We're only. Are we up? Let me see. We're up 2 pawns in that line. Is there? Do you guys see anything better than bishop c4? Okay, bishop g4. Check. Knight takes g4. What do we do after he takes knight takes g4? Okay. Yeah, that's actually after takes. See there. I think our opponent can run. I think our opponent can run after this line. Let's just give it a just a check real quick. Queen c4 check. King d7. He can run. Let's see, bishop c4. I believe if knight takes c4, queen takes c4, bishop takes c5, king c8. I think we can just take with our queen after that, and we're good to go. Yeah. Let's hope this is right. Oh, what are we missing here? Oh, that's mate. Oh, Blackbeard's mate. Blackbeard's mate. I did not even see that. Wow. So, just remove the guard. Whoa. Didn't see that one. Drat. I was looking at this. It should take c5. And then rook b1 with filtration there. Drat. That's okay. We'll get it back. Okay, this is one of those kind of puzzles that you have to be careful that you don't let him out of the box. Yeah, that surely did. Ooh, we have a win of a rook here. This one is king b6, king b6 check. So that he doesn't get checkmated, he has to he could go let me see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. King let me see, after king b6, ooh, we have he could go king d8. Rook oops, why did I capitalize that? King d8, that's funny. There's rook a8 check, king e7, rook a7 check, and if king, let's say f6, king f6, we have to remove the king. So first we go rook c6, c6 check, and when the king, if the rook blocks, c6 check, let's say rook e6, rook takes e6 check, king takes e6, and then rook takes g7, and we picked up a whole rook in that line. And if he just comes, we win the rook right away if he comes up to d7, king d7, we just play rook a7. So I'm probably going to say he's going to try to get over there with all of his might. What do you guys think? I'm thinking it's king b6. Check, excuse me. What's wrong with king d? That works too. Oh, wait a second. I know what's wrong with it. King d4. It's king b7. King b7. And now he's attacking our rook. He'd be attacked. See, we'd be coming down to attack his, and then he can actually come up and attack ours. So I'm thinking that b6. See, b6 covers c7. So we do win. Let's see, I have to make sure that no other checks actually work. Let's see, a7, he goes there. If it goes down, it's mate, so There we go. Yeah, touchdown. Loving it. Oh, I love that. That's cute. Touchdown. Wow, he's one move away from mate, so we don't have time to really do anything but win. So let's see. We're in theory at this moment down a rook, so we have to somehow check. Let's see here. Let's take a look at rook d8 check. Just zip up very quick. Ah, that's nice. A little chilly. Let's see, rook d8 check, king h7. Queen. e3 check, b6. I'm thinking it has something to do after b6, something to do with f5, and then after oops, sorry, I should write continue onward. After queen d1 check, king f2. What do you think? What's you guys think? That gets our rook involved at the very end. Oops, that's a mistake, I believe. Let me see. No, we could actually. Nope, if we do that and he tries checking on f1, well, wow, I think we do lose if we go f2. Let me see. This is kind of a interesting sitch, because f2, he's got the probably double his sclam move, f1 check, and we can't really play. If we play rook takes f1, he's got queen takes f1 check, and it's protected by the bishop. It'd actually be mate. That'd actually be mate. So not good. I think we can potentially, maybe after this here, we might be able to play that in between move of no. I was hoping for queen d2, but he's got bishop b1 check, and it's basically almost curtains. It's curtains at that point. Well, that's true. You're right. Yeah, we could just win it. Right. Okay. So, are we thinking rook d8? Check. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right too. Then the queen, queen e3, check. B6, then f5, and we're good to go. Huh. What you guys think here? Is it not f5, f5, sorry, f4? I don't know why I said f4, or do you think it's a rook d5? I'm thinking f4 gives us a flight square. I'm thinking that's winning. I'm thinking f4 is winning here. We have to have a flight square for our king. I'm thinking f4 is actually a forced move. It also gets our pawn one square closer to queening, so I'm thinking it's f4. What do you guys think? F4. And if f4, queen b1, then king f2. But I see what you're saying, because he has queen to f5 at that. Well, no, f5 isn't possible because there's a shielding. And we're actually safe as can be at that point. What do you think? F4? I'll give you like 10 to 15 seconds to respond, and then we'll play it, because we got to get into some more puzzles. Well, give her a go. Oh, you already said F4? Okay. Let me see. What is it? This? Nope. What are we missing here? Oh, okay. That's different. Oh, you already said F4. Okay. So I wanted to. Why is F4 not right? Why is F4 not right? Oh, it's because of mate 2. Mate 2. So the only way to stop that is here. That's okay. We'll get it back. You know what, you have to learn, see why. That's one thing that you have to improve on. Okay, we had that right. Yeah. It's you know what? Well, I did not even think about that, because that's sacrificing material. We have to not be material minded, because we're already 2 rooks up. So give a piece back. Hey, we learned something. Let's give it another shot here. All right. See, our opponent's materialistic. Let's see if we can take advantage of that materialisticness. We just had a lesson on that. That's funny. Let's see here. So we're gonna eventually lose a rook. So we have to see what we can get for counterplay. Queen c4. Well, that is interesting, but I think it would be the trained queens, yeah. I think that's probably what he would do, our opponent would do. So we have to look beyond the materialism. And ooh, we have a check here. Queen b5. Queen b5. Check. That's a fork, and we pick up the bishop. There we go. Okay, we'll go over that in just a sec. We'll do about like 10 to 15 minutes more puzzles, a couple more puzzles, and then we'll so what we have to remember is don't be afraid about sacrificing material. So that's what we're learning here. Don't be afraid about sacrificing material, because if we have a win, go for it. I forget that sometimes, that if they have like a queen, a bishop, and you have a queen and two rooks, you can sacrifice one of the rooks back for a winning position. Okay, so bishop takes g6. Queen d4. See, what can he play though? If queen d4, what's his best response? Probably queen or bishop h7 check would probably be his best response. But we can actually play the grub. I believe we can actually go like what we were talking about was queen d4, and you're right away taking scope on the b2 pawn. You're threatening mate in 1 after that, and I don't think there's a way to respond to queen d4. I don't see a way. I don't see a way of stopping queen d. I don't see a way of doing that, so I looked at every avenue. The best he can do is give us a bishop, and we'd most definitely probably take the bishop and just say, what are you going to do now? Okay, good work. Yeah, but you always have to be on the lookout for yeah, see, rook e7. First of all, you have to see, can we actually do that? And let's take scope of rook takes g4, and if we played king, we'd have to play king. Let me see, where would he have to play? We'd probably have to move king f2, and then king e1, rook takes d1. So it's something like that. I mean, not rook takes d1, rook takes d2. No, you're not simple-minded. No, no, no. No. That's one thing. If we can solve those if we can solve those puzzles, those are 22,000 level puzzles, so those are really tough. We have the in-between move after he takes here. Let's say that he does take on d2. We could actually play rook takes f7 check, and when the king moves to h6, or he blocks. Let's just say he blocks rook g7, rook takes g7 check. King takes g7, and then king takes d2, and we've won a rook. Let's see what happened. Rook e2. That's right. Oh, I am? Where? Let me see. Hold on. Did I miss something? Uh-oh. Did I forget to put in? Let's see. Okay. King there. Rook takes check. King f2. Ah. That's right. You're right. Rook g2 check. King d1. King takes king. Nope. Now we're good. Now we got it. Yeah, I must have forgotten to put that in. Queen takes we'll say e7. Queen takes e7. Knight takes e7. Rook takes g4. I mean, not rook takes g4, sorry. Rook takes g4. Check. And then we just put, let's see, where's that line? Right there. k1. Rook takes d2, and knight takes. Well, I guess he could if we take check there. Well, we've been working on him play the grub for a while, so it's just you have to train your mind. It's one of those it's one of those things. Yeah, as they say, you either you use it or lose it, or something. Yeah. It really let's see here. Our rook's under fire, so we gotta move it. We worked out where it's about an equal position. It's about an equal position, so gotta have the courage to go for it. If that's won a lot of oops, what happened here? Oops, yikes. That was weird. One of my panels deleted. Go figure, that's okay. Let's go with it. Because if we go h3, he could actually check and cause us to have a bad day. So there. Actually, queen could take with check, couldn't it? Well, if it did that, let's see. Let me see. Yeah. Somewhere around there. Let's see there. Two, because if you check, okay. Let's go with our idea. Oh no. Not that. What? This? Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. Wow. There must be a reason why the other one didn't turn out the way we thought it would. Let's see, rook g2, okay. Ah, he picks up a pawn. So we take first, and then you check. G8 to G5. Okay, so he's threatening. Ah, okay, now he takes there. And then if he takes here, he can't take there, so. Okay, we'll try one more. We'll get this one right, though. Alrighty, let's get this one right. And then we'll do that one game. Okay. Let's see there. Okay, we'll do that one. Yeah, we got to end on a positive. I always like doing that. Let's see here. Oops. Okay, let's see what we got here. So the rook moves to g1. See, we can't play. I'd love to play knight f3, but so let's see what pieces are hanging. So we have a piece that's hanging in black's position. So you sometimes can make a idea based around a piece that's that is hanging. So if the knight on, no, it's not hanging. I'm wrong because it's protected by the bishop. So the rook is, no, the rook's not hanging either. This is the only piece that potentially would be hanging, but it's protected by the queen, so nothing's hanging in the position. So we now can we don't have to worry about making any ideas on hanging pieces because they're all protected. Oh wait, I am wrong. You can actually win a piece with bishop takes d5. This bishop isn't protected, it's only protected by this pawn. Bishop takes d5, and if e takes d5, you have knight takes f5. So bishop takes, pawn takes, knight f5. Does he have any counter attacks? Does he have any counter thrusts on that? Let's see, queen g4 is an idea. Oh, then we could check first. Let's check first. Let's go bishop h4. Bishop h4, check first. When the king moves, we'll say e2, king e2. Then we can play bishop takes d5. Okay. Oh. Snap, no? Okay. The other way around? Huh. Well, that's different for sure. What's the problem with the other takes? Let me see here. Oh, is it let's see, king what did he play? He played over there, king there. What's wrong with bishop takes? Okay. Oops. Drat. Okay. So knight takes there. I did not see, did not even think that. I was hoping to keep our knight there so that we would have an in route, via something with our bishop and queen. But man, that is a tricky move there. So that teaches us something. We need to, and when there's two taking options, make sure to calculate both. We'll try one more. Come on. We could do this. We could do this. Got to be on the lookout for our opponent's best move. Let's see, so bishop f5. We can't take, of course. If we take on f5, he'll checkmate us, so we can't do that. So we know that's out of the question. Our knight's pinned to our king. What else do we have that we can play? That does, yeah. I'm thinking though, that's the right spot, but queen to e5. Queen e5 has the same idea, but this time we're threatening to win with a pin. See, queen e5, it threatens queen e5. If the bishop moves, let's say the bishop moves to h3, we have bishop takes e4. See there, if he plays bishop takes g6, we can actually play pawn takes g6, and if rook takes g6, we still have bishop takes e4. And then there's a pin on the queen there. What? It's rook g8. Okay, so let's recap. Try this. So, yep, exactly. We're still good. We're up a whole queen, and we should go on to potentially win with that move. Oh. No, so I'm not sure what are we missing. Oh, queen takes. No. Okay, so bishop. No, it's not bishop takes. It's pawn takes. Ah. Okay. So pawn push. Queen takes. takes the bishop. We'll just go and do the game. I don't know what's the sitch. I thought for sure that that was winning on the spot. Yeah. Queen g4. Okay, I see. Because then if we take here, he's got bishop. Oh, that we win a pawn, but that's about it. So this, if he takes here, then you take and you win a piece. So he can't take there. Here you take here. When you take there, you can actually take, and then if he takes here, you play bishop takes e, and we have a passer. We're up the the bishop and knight, which is actually a winning line, and there's no way for him getting out. Okay. Hey, you know what? We learned that's 0 inaccuracies. Okay. This is against Banco. Let's take a look. Oops, gotta turn off the engine. The modern defense, f4, knight f6, knight f3, castles, bishop d3, bishop g5, rg4, h3, bishop takes, queen takes, knight c6, bishop e3, e5. So okay, then d takes e, d takes e, f. Okay, so he's basically trying to go for a plain old KO as fast as he can. Knight d4, queen f2, knight e8, castle kingside. Yeah, this is really good play for Bobby because our Robert Fischer, because this rook can't get into play for Banco, and this rook can't get into play. This knight's out of play, so Banco in theory has one piece in play. So d6. I'm not surprised Bobby basically obliterated, because now the threat is bishop h6 with mate. King is forced. Queen g4 is a pretty interesting move, to say the least, because let me see, queen, I'm looking at that. What? How can we make that work? Because I want to double up my my rooks, but I really am trying to figure out how to make that move work. I like it. So I did play that move, what we were thinking. That's good. But I'm just trying to figure out how to, yeah. Oh, h5, okay. h5. That makes sense. So c6, and then knight to h5. I mean queen h5, not knight. Queen e8. Yeah. This opens up the whole entire playground. Because then it takes rook f6, and if he takes there, then you have e5. So let's see, rook f6, a5, and now you're threatening there. I don't think there's a way to save the position in that line. Well, he'd have to play there and just sack everything. So maybe king g8 would be the proper move to try to hold. Well, then you have e5, still with the idea of coming in with a demolishing attack. h6 is basically forced, and yeah, I'm liking this move. I think that's crushing. But I think what he was going to plan on doing is here, and then he's got rook f7, and I think that holds. That would hold. Yeah, because then he can actually run. You have a perpet at this point. So you have perpetual. You just don't have a win. You could play rook here, sacrifice this knight, and then play bishop. Rook takes. No, that doesn't work, because then the rook would just take there. Yeah, so we really can't play bishop. What did I miss here? Let me see. I gotta see if I missed something. I want to make sure that I see the mate. Okay, takes. All right. Oh, you just okay. You grab the knight. Actually, you want to stay in contact, so you want to bring the knight there. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there's no reason to really rush, and if he plays here, you could actually take back with the pawn. He can't play here. He may try to play here. That'd probably be his best idea. And then king h2. There's no way now to he can't go here, can't go there, and can't go there. And so it's basically all over. You could try that. Yeah, there's no way now. And that makes sense. Now I understand why he moved this move here. This was a move so that when this happened, and the queen came in with a check, there's no real way to, it's over. Now I understand now why Banco resigned now. This move stops any of Banco's cheapo attacks, which Banco was never a. That's a what? That's a 2600 level tactic. Well, we're there. I just got to work on with the puzzles. Sometimes I miss those pawn moves. I have to remember to find my opponent's best move, and I'm learning that, and we're getting better on that. It just takes time. We'll improve. We'll get past 2400. It we started out at like 1900, and we moved up to 2400, and we're almost to 25. We get there, and then we come down a little bit, but we'll get back there. So, do you have any questions? Play the grub on these puzzles. I mean, not puzzle. I have puzzles on the brain on this game. Do you have any questions? And we'll try to work through it. I'll do my best to answer the questions. I can't think like the Bobby Fischer, but I can do my best to answer some of the questions. Well, I stick with mainly the London system. I stick mainly with the London system, but see, the London system has a lot of different opening lines in for white. So the London system has the choral system, and there's a couple other ones. It even has sometimes the Queen's Gambit declined set up in it. So it's a system. It's not really an opening. So I guess I do play a lot of different openings, but I play it under the London system though. I think I have played all those, but I prefer the London system if I can get it in there, because I love how flexible the London system is. It gets a bad rap for being very positional, but it's not a positional. Simon Williams showed in his tape for ChessBase that the London system has a lot of teeth to it. So it's his tape is worth on ChessBase. It's worth purchasing if you want to learn the on move 2 after. I'll show you back here. I'll use this here. He talks about this move here. He goes over this line here. He goes over this line. He goes over this line. He does the F4 pawn. On some of his games, he does say that he has to. Some of the games are from like Gadakomsky. So Gadakomsky sometimes starts out with F3, knight F3. But he said Simon says that bishop F4 is it's a pretty interesting flexible move because it can transpose into a lot of different setups. You're not telegraphing to your opponent what you're going to do, because this isn't setting the pawn structure. That's what he's trying to say. The skeleton, the pawn skeleton. If you played E3 right after that, now your opponent knows the pawn skeleton. But with bishop D4, it's a flexible in between waiting move to see what your opponent's going to do. Is your opponent going to play like G6? Is it going to play D5? Are they going to play like a gambit with E5, which would be a bad move? Are they going to play like a C5 move gambit? Are they going to play bishop B3 or B6? Knight C6. You have it's a pretty flexible line, but this is the line mainly that he talks about is d4 with bishop to f4. So that's just a kind of teaser if you're interested in, rather than playing the old standard line of the London like this. If you don't want to just always play f3, knight f3, you can do a little bit of a Spitfire move, I always call it, a bishop f4. Okay, do you have any other questions? No questions? Okay. Alrighty. Wanted to thank you all for logging on. You know what? We're gonna get there. Yeah, we just have to work on a couple things, like when you're up material. If you see an idea that you can sacrifice to win the game, like let's say you have a queen and two rooks, and your opponent has a queen and a bishop, but some pawns like you do. It's okay to sacrifice one of those rooks back if you're going to win. So we can't be materialistic, number one. We have to look for our opponent's best move, number two. And we have to make sure that our calculation is 100% accurate. Like, we don't want to miss any subtle nuances of like maybe a better move or a counter move. What could be a counter move to that move, which would be basically back to number two, which would be best move. So let me see, what else did we learn? So we learned not being materialistic. If you can sacrifice and win, do it. Look for your opponent's best move. And let's see, there was a third one I wanted to talk about. Drat, let me see. Of course I forgot it. I'll probably remember it, like tomorrow morning. But if I do, then I'll tell you, okay, tomorrow if I do remember it. But I guess I'll add number 3 with this. Have fun. That's what chess is about. And like what Tom Thumb Thumb said, life is about treasuring your victories. So when we get them right, we treasure those and learn from them and find out why. And when you get them wrong, you learn from them. You learn from your losses. So treasure your victories and learn from your losses. That's a very important saying for a chess player. Remember that mistakes do not define you. It's how you handle the mistakes that define a chess player. So we have to remember you're not going to be perfect. You're not the Lord Jesus. So and so that's the one thing we have to keep in mind, that we're human. We make mistakes. As long as you're playing another human, that human's going to make a mistake. Even the Super Grand Masters, the top 10 still make mistakes in their play. So it's not like they're perfect. They even miss winning lines and drawing lines and all those. So just, keep your mind on the prize, which is improving. Improving doesn't come without cost. So, like when our points go up or go down, go up, go down a little bit, we're actually learning, and we're implementing in our play for over the board for to go up to 22 to 2300, and that's what I'm working on, heading up there too. For over the board, it's like boom, it's really a lot of work, but you know what, it's worth it, and I'm very happy that you're coming alongside with me, my chess friends, for that journey to our goal of getting better and improving over the board and our tactical visualization. We have to remember what Bruce Lee said, that you can know a lot, but it's not enough. You have to actually apply it. So you can read a lot of books on chess, but unless you take it and apply it into a puzzle, which is kind of like the games that are being played, it's for nothing. And you can be willing and very excited about something, but unless you put that excitement and energy into something and do something with it, it's just an exciting moment for a chess player. And remember that wins happen and losses happens, and that's what Bruce Lee said about there are no limits. There are no limits up, and there are no limits down. So we have to keep our minds to stay focused so that our limits don't go down but continue to go up. There are plateaus. We do hit plateaus, and then it feels like you're there forever. But don't feel that way. He says you can go beyond it. That's what Bruce Lee said, and we can go beyond it. And you know what? It's a journey through like on a road to your goal. You there's rocks that get in the way sometimes. There's things that pop up like a wall, a fence. You have to jump over those things. But don't let it ever stop you from your goal of what you want to do. And always remember that the Lord should be the focus of why we do what we do. When we separate ourselves from that, we then can look at the puzzle better. The puzzle's better and over the board better, and that's what it means by separating your emotions from the position. And you'll find it's the weirdest thing. You'll think, oh no, I'm lost. But when you separate your emotions, get up from the board, separate your emotions, sit back down, who knows, you might find the saving move, and then your opponent goes, whoa, who am I dealing with here? And then they may make a mistake and you may win or draw. So either way, just have fun and improve. We have to also do what we normally do. We hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study. When most won't, we do, and that makes all the difference. Doesn't mean that you're always going to have those diamond days. I remember I was listening to somebody about that there's hills, there's days when you get to the top of the hill, and then there's days when you're walking through as I've read, the valley of the shadow of death. That feels like that you're walking through the gloomy doom thing. It's like, will this path ever lead to another, hill? Yes, it will, my friends. We just have to endure through it and not be satisfied where we're at, but continue to strive for greatness. So Leslie So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. And Lord willing, we'll get back on and we'll continue to strive for that 2500 level and even beyond there. You know what? It's a journey, but we're willing to travel that journey no matter what. Great job. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah. Be blessed, and always remember, have fun with chess and keep studying. Bye-bye.